Third game of the Super League baseball season coming to you live from West Beach. This is the second game of a doubleheader between the Northern Marlins and the Western Rays. Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. Eric Ballnar, joined by Michael Dunn, GM of the Marlins, and Chris Lawson, GM of the Rays. Well, Marlins looking for their first win of the season. They started the year 0-1. The Rays just got their first win. They're sitting at 1-1. All of a sudden, this game tonight becomes pretty important for the Marlins.
Yeah, you know, it's an important one to get this one back. We've got some good pitching in this game as well, so hopefully we can go away 1-1 tonight after this one and move on to next week.
This is
week after. Next week's the All-Star game, isn't it?
This is Super League baseball. It basically takes three teams, divides them up by charters in South Australian baseball. You've got the West, you've got the North, you've got the South. This is a battle between the Western Rays and the Northern Marlins. The Marlins, the two-time defending champions. Games normally 7 innings. This one's 5 innings or 90 minutes, whatever comes first. Pitchers, they have some pitch counts in it in this funky format. They can usually only pitch 30. Tonight, it's 40. That's 40 pitches, that is. So you have to be very smart in the Super League on how you manage your pitching. And today, it's the second game of a doubleheader, so you have to be even smarter.
That's right. You know, so the Rays were 3 pitches down. You won't see those 3 guys again in this game. It'll be the same for the Marlins as well. So it's about having the arms, managing them strategically, picking the spots in the lineup, and navigating your way through them.
The other quirk of the league, of course, is that you can play a joker card and have a runner on first and second at any time. Well, you can do that once, but in any inning you want at the start of the inning. Only 5 innings to choose from when you play it tonight, so teams have to be very choosy. We just saw a game before. In the last game of the Super League, both teams couldn't score a run off the joker card, which is quite rare.
Yeah, it is quite rare. The other thing too, Eric, that just so the people at home can understand is you can have a different roster now for this game as well. So those pitchers that are pitched in the first game, as Smoke said, those guys can completely come off your roster, and you can replace them with 3 other pitchers. So that makes it interesting as well. And as you know, you're only allowed to have 3 imports on your roster. So if you played 2 of those guys as pitchers in the first game, those 2 imports can come off, and you can put another 2 imports on.
Big thanks to everybody watching, whether it be on the stream or whether it's a Friday night or Saturday afternoon on NITV and you're watching this game. Thanks for joining us for some Super League baseball from Bennett Field. We'll take a look at the teams. Running out on the field defensively is the Rays. That is the western suburb teams in South Australia. Out in the field right now, Liam Bull at third base, Koki Yanazawa at short, Jacob Scott at second base, and Mason Clavel at first base. Tom McGarry from West Torrens catching it. Really, really talented outfield. In left field, you have Max Tracy, the American-turned-Australian, out in left field. Jack Partington, Adelaide Giants center fielder, and Giovanni Garbella, who just hit a 3-run home run in the last game to win it for the game in the outfield. It's a very talented outfield, isn't it?
It's not bad. You wouldn't expect too many balls to drop out there with the speed going on.
No, you certainly would not. Who do we got pitching tonight?
Nick Callahan, Adelaide starting pitcher. He's come on every season. We've seen him pitch. He's gotten better and better and better. Big, strong lad. Putting up some donuts down there at Adelaide, and we expect him to do the same for us in Super League.
Had a really nice performance on the weekend in local club ball for Adelaide. He came in, the team was down 1-0. He kept it a 1-0 game with some really nice pitching versus East Torrens at the end of the game. Lineup for the Northern and Eastern Marlins. You got Kosei Suzuki leading things off. Brandon Manzella from Golden Grove batting second. That middle of the lineup is a scary one. Austin Gallagher from Kensington, the big bopper in the South Australian Baseball League at 3. Brody Ariola from Port Adelaide, the young star in the middle of the lineup. We're getting our first look at Russell Strilchuk, the Canadian import at Golden Grove at 5. Nick Platten at 6. Pat Inglis from Port Adelaide at 8. And Jake Campbell, hey, if he's at your 8 hole, that's a pretty good lineup. And Jake Schotten, the Golden Grove Division II catcher right now, batting at number 9. So leading things off, Kosei Suzuki. So a little bit of a different look in the lineup for Coach Tam Harkin. And Suzuki swings at the first pitch of the ball game, floating to center field for Jack Partington to make the play. 1 pitch, 1 down, just like that.
Well, you take that. We said that in the last game, right? That 1 pitch, it sort of get the nerves off the back.
We could be home before it gets dark here, the way this is going. My God.
Great action.
1 pitch, 1 strike, 1 out.
Could we see the minimum pitches in the game? Everyone swings first pitch. Just puts it in the other.
Wow.
Brandon Manzella, last year's Rookie of the Year. Takes the first pitch. That's a bit down low for the first ball on the board. Manzella found a way to get on base a lot last year when he won that Rookie of the Year award for Golden Grove. He could hit, he could get on base, played some good defense. He took a bit of a year off from baseball and came back to it totally refreshed and got some Division I games, won the Rookie of the Year. An awkward spot in the outfield, but Partington ranges back. 2 balls floated out to center field, and the Adelaide Giants outfielder has 2 easy catches.
Just keep hitting it to Pardo. He gobbles them up.
Shell and peas out there. As we said, you know, you hit the ball in the outfield here in the air, you're out. These guys need to understand that you can't hit balls, just flare balls to the outfield. You're just an easy out. You've got to hit line drives, hit on the ground, put it on the ground and run. You know, it's not, you're not taking BP here. You need to have good at-bats, and if that's what it's going to be, we won't score another run in this game either.
Austin Gallagher up to bat. Swings to the first pitch. Yep, this game number 2 of 2 games played at West Beach on this Wednesday, both 5-inning games, and efforts to make up a washed-out game from earlier in the season. So this will catch the Rays up to what their schedule should have been to this point. Gallagher, deep, right field, to the wall, to the track. It drops in front of the wall. I think he got trapped in the wall, and Austin Gallagher will stand up with a double. Did it go over? No, Gallagher's going back to second.
Deke. What a good deke that was. Wow. Like, hang on a second, what's going on here?
Taking off my arm.
Umpire doesn't signal home run, and off you.
Yeah, and it definitely, I think, bounces on the hard dirt out there and bounces up and over the fence. Yep.
First pitch swing from Brody Areola. That last game, this was the heart of the lineup that had runners on first and second. When the Joker card was played, it was Gallagher, then Areola following up, and couldn't find that hit. That hit would have gone down well with the Joker card being played. Hit right to the shortstop, Koki Yanazawa. Quick throw across the diamond. Ranging down was Mason Clavel. Pitched the last game, makes a nice defensive play, holding that hip, though, as he walks off. No harm, no foul in the top half of the first inning.
That was a great inning by Callers, just filling up the zone. One mistake to Galley. Probably one of the only guys that can hit it to the outfield. We were saying, maybe don't hit it to the outfield, guys. They're going to gobble it up, but...
Yep.
Big, strong Galley found the gap.
Quick innings, 6 pitches.
I'll let you know.
Not much different from game number 1 of the day. So we'll get our first look at the field for the Marlins running out there, representing the eastern and northern clubs in South Australia. We'll start with the infield. We're going to get a look at third baseman Russell Strilchuk, the Canadian import at Golden Grove. At shortstop, Kosei Suzuki. Nick Platten gets inserted into the lineup for the second game of the doubleheader. And Austin Gallagher at first base. Catcher is Jake Schotten from Golden Grove Central Districts. The outfield manned in the center by Brody Areola. To his right is Brandon Manzella from Golden Grove, and to his left will be Patrick Inglis from Port Adelaide. His counterpart there, they work together in the outfield, Inglis and Areola. In club ball, they'll do so here. Starting on the mound tonight for the Marlins. Who do we got starting on the mound tonight, Denny? We got Sammy Siegert starting on the mound. The Port Adelaide import, plays for the German national team, played some college at the University of Auburn at Montgomery.
He's funky.
He is.
Yeah, he got a different release point.
Yeah.
A little underneath her.
Very difficult Rays lineup to navigate. Jack Partington didn't play the last game. He's inserted in the lineup here. And Jack Partington, one of the best in the state right now. He started the year off at Henley and Grange, going 7 for 13 with 4 runs driven in, 3 stolen bases. Was 0 for 3 in his first game of Super League, but that's sort of an anomaly for Pardo. Had a big year last year in club ball. Also had 25 stolen bases. His name got more and more common. He earned a spot on the Giants roster. He was signed before training camp even broke this season.
Yeah, just a competitor, loves to play, loves to get better, loves to learn, and just loves being around it. So he's just a through and through baseball person and just thrives on playing baseball.
He's always up. He's just a great personality. And he brings those guys around him up as well, and those guys want to be out here playing baseball with Pardo. Like, he's a fun guy to be around.
Max Tracy will bat second. Tom McGarry, the RBI king, third. Giovanni Garbella, he's maybe the new RBI king, actually, it sounds like, at 4. We'll get to his stats a bit later on. Mason Clavel at 5. Koki Yanazawa 6. Jacob Scott 7. Nate Vanderlyn at 8. And Liam Bull batting 9. Hard hit ball left field from Partington, ranging over to make the play is Patrick Inglis. That was a tricky one in the outfield.
Yeah, good play by Pat. Normally a centre field, like he'd play centre field a fair bit when I was down at Port. So when Brody was still a young boy, but he can track him down out there as well. So that's a good play there. That ball dying away towards the left field line, and he made that look pretty simple.
Max Tracy, this is his first night of Super League, his second game. In the first game, Max Tracy had 2 hits, a single and a double. Off to a great start. The American that they just found that has now got the Australian citizenship, playing for Adelaide. Ground it over towards Seager. Scoops it up. Fires it to first. Gallagher brings it in, and 2 quick outs as well.
It's like, that sort of person, Eric, you just find them on Seek? Is that what you do? Just, hey, we're looking for a baseball player with an Australian passport. Seek. Chuck a job ad up and away you go.
I don't know. It always seems to come from somebody that was here, right? It happens in the ice hockey community, which I'm involved with too, is you find these random people with Australian connections as Tom McGarry comes up to bat. I know in hockey, one of the big ones this year, one of the guys that came over, it was just an Australian who was in Canada, met a guy that was a pretty good hockey player, and he's like, oh yeah, my mom's Australian. And they're like, man, you got to get your passport because you would walk onto any team here. And then all of a sudden, you're the hottest commodity in Australian sports. So it's the same in baseball, right?
Yeah, totally, yeah. I don't know why more teams don't try and find those guys. They're over there. You just need to find them.
Well, Nick Ward is another good example of that on the Adelaide Giants. There's a story on him on Channel 7 tonight. We'll get that up on the Giants Facebook page later on, but he'll be another baseball player you can watch with that sort of connection. As McGarry puts this in play. Scooped up by the second baseman, Platten. He double clutched it, and now it's a free base. That was messy.
Very messy.
I was just saying,
the ball play him. Didn't come and get it. Pick it up on the hop. Just got a little bit lazy on it and let the ball play him and bounce in front of him. And there he should be coming to get it. Should be coming to get that ball on the dirt. Just lets it play him. Pops up in front of him. Makes a mistake. We talk about it every time. Don't let the ball play you.
And now you've got Giovanni Garbella, who's been smoking the baseball up to bat with some life. I was just saying, Nick Ward, before he found out, well, he knew his mom was English. He's an American player. Played Division I in United States baseball, was affiliated with the Oakland Athletics. Shot an email off to the British national baseball team and said, hey, can I play? And they said, hell yeah, you can play.
Yeah.
He got his citizenship, made the British national team, and then helped the UK qualify for their first ever World Baseball Classic. In that deciding game, he had a crucial RBI knock in it. Now he'll be playing in South Australia. Knocked over to the right side. Giovanni Garbella has a base hit. So that error has now turned into 2 base runners. Garbella's going to try to stretch this to 2. He'll slide in there, and that was because of the base runner that advanced to 3. So it's now 2 runners in scoring position for Mason Clavel.
That was Jasper Clarkin, I reckon, as the designated runner for the catcher Tom McGarry, and just took on the right fielder. Could have gone either way, and Giovanni taking that extra base. Good heads-up base running.
Well, this hurts because they could have been out of the inning on just a handful of pitches for Sam Seigert. Now he's stretched out with a few more pitches, and now 2 runners in scoring position. And a dangerous bat in Mason Clavel.
And it just hurts when you don't hit your cutoff guy on the ball being thrown in from the outfield, and now you have runners at second and third instead of first, and still a double play opportunity. So Very frustrating for your coaching staff if you you just let people run and without shutting them down.
Clavel, a home run threat. He is 4 for 13 this year with Glenelg. Home run, 4 RBIs. A lot of power with Mason Clavel.
He's had that power since he was 15, 16 years old. He's anchoring that GBC lineup. Oh, it's nasty.
Frisbee. That's a good pitch.
That was a really good pitch. Just froze.
So Sigurd gets them to swing. They get out of the inning despite some risk on the base paths. That interesting sidearm delivery.
Watch this pull the string on this.
Exactly.
It looks like it stopped midway down and just didn't get there, and Mason's way out in front of it. Oh, it's still coming. And that's a really good pitch on the outside corner there. So he gets himself out of trouble there after a few mistakes by the defense of the Marlins, but Sigurd good enough to get out of it and gets back into the dugout. Now we need to try and score some runs.
We're through one. We'll take a quick break and see you for the second.
Hilltop Office Supplies are here to provide you with all your stationery, sanitary products and office equipment. We are a local business servicing local communities with the ability to offer you and your business the best prices. We offer a large range of office supplies from pens, ink cartridges and toner to monitors, keyboards and laptops. If you can't see it on our website or in our catalogue, ask us and we'll source it for you. We have a partnership with Kaishira Document Solutions where you will find many leasing options available for these state-of-the-art units and plenty to choose from whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. We offer businesses a one-stop shop for all cleaning, kitchen and bathroom needs. Check out our website at www.hilltopofficesupplies.com.au. Register your business to stay on top of the latest sales and receive member specials. We are baseball people here to support the baseball community.
Back at the ballpark. A 0-0 game in the Super League Baseball League. Super League Baseball? Super League Baseball. We'll go with that. Brought to you by Just the Thing Furniture Warehouse. This is the Rays. This is the Marlins. The Marlins up to bat. Cesar Perez. Oh, no. It's Russell Strilchuk, sorry. Will step in, the left-handed hitter. This is his first televised at-bat here in South Australia for Russell Strilchuk.
What's his backstory?
Canadian player, played in the Canadian college system for a little bit. But was really found, you know that baseball jobs overseas program that's taken off a lot? That's kind of where he was brought through and found as he gets hit by a pitch. But he played in Germany, and now over at Golden Grove. So a lot of these European connections between South Australia, as you normally see. Players go both ways, too. A lot of South Australians play in Europe.
And you'll find they'll keep doing it for a while, too, and make a career out of it. The first, their mid to late 20s after their college careers, and travel the world playing baseball is not much better than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we would have done it, Smoke, when we were younger, but we didn't have those opportunities when we were playing. Otherwise, we would have been over there every year, too, doing it. So it's good for them to keep playing baseball all year round, and the competitions are there, and if they can see the world and play baseball, why wouldn't you?
Oh, most definitely.
Nick Platten steps in, Kensington infielder. Another college player, a guy that had some experience over at Heston Community College in Kansas. So many of these South Australian players now getting opportunities to go and play at different levels of colleges across the United States. Callahan deals. You had a chance to play some college baseball, Chris Lawson?
I did a couple of years back now. Year 2000 I went over there for 4 years and got to spend a bit of time in Clarendon College, Texas, and then Pasadena in California, and then finished up in Georgia. I was talking to Max Tracy about that earlier. It was about an hour from where he's from, so the school I went to.
There's a big connection with that school, Clarendon College, from South Australia, or from South Australia in particular.
Yeah, number one here. And then,
then Chris Adamson was there.
Went there. Petty went there.
And now Liam Scott
Zach Stokes
is there.
went there.
Zach Stokes went there too. So how did that connection first come about to get you to college?
It's kind of it's bad when we talk about this. It's like VCR days, right? Like there was no the internet wasn't as prevalent in terms of seeing scouting players back then. So it was just a scout saying you're not quite good enough to get signed. we've got contacts in America. So it was myself and a couple of New South Wales guys, Andrew Graham being one of them, you know, hooked up with a school in Clarendon, Texas. And, yeah, we all went over there. And 3 of us then, continued on and finished our college career at 4-year schools and...
Got a degree?
Got a degree out of it. Thank you, baseball.
Hard hit ball will fall into the left field, so it's a runner on first and second and nobody out.
What did you study, Smoke?
Business degree.
Nice.
Yeah, marketing and management. So
there you go, kids. You know, you might not be good enough to make it to the big leagues, but do yourself a favour, go to college, get yourself a career, come home and talk about the best 4 years of your life forever.
Best 4 years of your life, I know, right? 20. I was saying that to someone earlier. It's like 20 years ago. Gosh, I'm getting old. That's a long time ago.
Patrick Inglis steps up to bat. The old hat and helmet look. Well, you can get those great experiences.
What is that?
Had a great chat with Lachlan Reese, who's now doing some work in the Baseball SA office. Well, he's home for a few months from college. He's heading back in December. Another South Australian that's taken the opportunity to get overseas, play baseball, and get an education out of it. He won some academic awards, Lachlan Reese, while over there, too.
That makes it even more important.
That's good. Good to see him putting his head down and doing the right things. Because if you pass in your classes and you graduate from that junior college, that's where the 4-year colleges open up. So if you ain't passing classes, you can't keep progressing. You have to pass.
But you're not allowed to play either, are you?
No,
unless you
get
your school
GPA,
right.
yeah.
So those junior colleges, would they be like those schools you would see in like those TV shows, Last Chance U?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That is the school, Clarendon College, to a T.
That's a good show, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just shows you how hard you got to work, to get your opportunities, and sometimes you just need to get lucky to get in those opportunities as well. So, but
when you get
keep working hard, you'll the doors will open somewhere. You just need to keep working.
Well, how's this for lineup architecture? If I told you that it would be bases loaded, nobody out for your 8-hitter, and your 8-hitter was Jake Campbell,
I'll take it.
you would absolutely take it. He's one of the premier bat swingers in the South Australian baseball competition. Guy that keeps getting more mature after every year. He's over at Golden Grove right now, one of the big leaders down in that clubhouse. Get 288 with an OPS on base plus slugging of over 1,000 with 8 home runs and 21 runs batted in. And now no outs, bases loaded, a whole bunch of options for him. One of them was swinging through that Nick Callahan pitch outside.
This is where you just need to be not too aggressive, and worst case scenario, score a run, right? Don't, we had bases loaded last time, popped up and then struck out with no one out. You just put the ball into play, score a run. Get us on the board. Maybe not.
Callahan getting them to swing and miss. That is a massive strikeout from the Adelaide local pitcher.
That's the thing. It brings a double play into it to get out of this inning with no runs given up, which is crucial. You want to see him come back like that. He hasn't been as sharp as he was in the first inning this inning, but to come back and make some good pitches on that 1-1 slider really won that at bat for him.
Jake Schott. He's at Golden Grove right now. He was played mostly in the ones last year. Hasn't been in the lineup yet this season. He's been passed in the lineup for the time being at least, but he's played Super League for a few years now, Jake Schott. If he can get on and keep it alive and let the likes of Kosei Suzuki and Brandon Manzella get up to bat, anything but a double play or a strikeout, you'd think right now, if you're the Marlins.
Thanks, Eric. Commentator's curse right there.
So big pitch coming up, 3-1 count. Has to be a strike or it's going to be a run.
That's the thing, go after him. You're flipping the lineup after this guy. You want to see some action on this pitch.
This might be his last hitter too. If he can't get this guy out, it might be his last.
He's hit a guy, walked a guy, struck out a guy.
He's got some swing and miss stuff when he's on Nick Callahan.
You're right. Like it's there. You can still see it developing though, and just finding that feel to repeat that pitch, and he's going to get better every year he's out on the mound.
Ball hit up the middle. Callahan couldn't glove it down. He'll make the throw to first, and he throws it away. A couple runs will cross the plate. So it looked like an opportunity to get out of the inning. Instead, it's going to be 1 out. Runners on second and third, and a 2-0 lead for the Marlins.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to swallow. Callis probably should have put that in his back pocket there. The adrenaline going. Yeah, I think you're going to make the throw. What could have been a double play turns into a 2 runs, 2 on.
So we'll get a pitching change as well. That will be the end of Nick Callahan. And you said the word, Smokey, that he's still, you can see that he's still developing. So what do you think Callahan needs in that next step of his development? Because he is a guy that has been just really been playing his craft for the last couple of years. The Josh Spence School of Pitching, all that kind of stuff.
And he was one of those guys that was a bit later to pitching, I guess. He's not the, you know, a lot of guys, you get earmarked when you're 10 years old, you're on the bump, and that's, you know, that's your life. He was a big kid, played third base. He's, you know, can swing the bat, and just coming later to pitching, I guess, you know, it's a young armour. It doesn't have many innings in it, but in the same token, it's, I guess, finding that release point to hit that spot. No, if I want to go in, I need to release it from here, and I guess being able to repeat that, like, it's easy to, oh, that felt good, and the next pitch, and like half the battle is against yourself on the bump. But if you can find that release point, it makes life a lot easier.
Because he loaded the bases, then he got that strikeout, and then he got that ground ball. Like, he had the equation in there, didn't he? He was close.
And then he just let himself down at the end. It could have been a really, really good start if he had been able to turn that double play on that ground ball back to him. Instead, you know, he's looking to his teammate Butterwick here to get him out of it.
So a new pitcher on the mound. Is this Jude Barker?
No, it's Christian.
No, Christian Butterwick. Christian Butterwick. He moved over from Henley and Grange over to Adelaide this season.
Yep, I've heard good things from him. He's got a bit of a funky arm action from the side. He's had some clean innings to start the year, and he hasn't pitched, I think it might be his A-grade debut week 1, and he's pitched every week in A-grade, and now he's making his Super League debut, and, you know.
Struck Austin Gallagher out a couple weeks ago.
That's a nice feather in the cap, isn't it? Hopefully we don't see him this inning.
Now batting, Kosei Suzuki.
Another pitcher just trying to learn that craft a little bit. He's got some appearances this season and just over 6 innings of work so far. For the Angels, now with Stephen Welsh, long time, the all-time leading Adelaide Bite Giants games played man. That'll help. Runners on second and third for Kosei Suzuki. He's got some pop about him, Kosei. Doesn't strike out a lot. All last season in that 30-game year, he only struck out 8 times.
Well, you take that, right? Put the ball in play. Something will happen.
Gets on base a lot, and this year he's doing the same. He's 5 for 12 with 4 walks, 3 runs driven in, and 3 stolen bases. It's the sort of player that makes you work for everything, Kosei.
When Butterwick doing his job, coming in, throwing strikes.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
0-2 count on Kosei Suzuki.
Yes, yes, yes.
Fouled up, but it should be playable.
Very clear, very clear.
Mason Clavel was searching for it and found it in his glove, 2 down. One of the moments in the baseball game here where it's sort of on that knife's edge a little bit, right? If you loaded the bases, nobody out, and you only allow the 2 runs, you kind of take that and say, could have been worse. But a base hit here from Brandon Manzella makes it a big number here in the 2nd inning.
On a night, we know it's been hard to score runs, right? So I hope he just hits it at someone and we can get out of this. And now go on to the next
ball
inning.
with eyes here, Smoke. It'd be fantastic for me. Just a little chink-a-dink. But this is important. This is a really important part of the game. As Smokey said, it's been hard to score runs, and I know the Marlins have got some pitching depth in this 2nd game as well, so we need to get some more on the board.
Couldn't quite find the zone there, so a 2-1 count for Christian Butterwick. Almost got
Just
him.
Missed. Don't know how it didn't.
I would have been liking that to hit him then with Galley on deck. That would have been nice. I think he even stayed there to think that it was gonna break towards him and hit him too, and it sort of went around him.
It'll be a walk either way. So bases are loaded for the biggest bat in South Australian baseball. 16 home runs, 37 RBIs last year in 29 games for Austin Gallagher. He can hit him hard and hit him long. Doesn't need to hit a home run, but would probably love to. Pitch outside. How do you approach Gallagher in this situation?
Chuck and duck right here. That's what I'd be doing if I was pitching Eric.
Just thrown into the walls.
Just pray.
Pray.
Well, Gallagher's going to be in a very favorable count at 2-0. A walk here would score a run and bring up Brody Ariola, who would be the 9th batter in the inning. They would have batted with all players in the lineup coming up to bat.
Nope.
Well, 3-0 count.
I'm giving him green light here too. Why not?
It's the Super League.
Don't die wondering.
Well, he can take 4 pitches, and it'll be a free run on a 4-pitch walk to Austin Gallagher. Makes it a 3-0 ball game.
And that's some great aggressive watching there from Galley.
Brings up Brody Ariola.
And that brings to the plate Brody Ariola.
And he's probably due. He hasn't done a lot so far, and he's had some opportunities with runners in scoring position, that's for sure. So Brody needs to knuckle down a little here and have a good at-bat and pick up a few more runs and just close that door a little bit more on the Rays in game 2. Nope, just another out. Or maybe
Although
not.
it's a bit
Maybe not.
awkward,
Maybe
and
not.
it's going to fall in. Shoulda, woulda, coulda been an out. Instead, it's going to be 2 more runs and a 5 spot here in the top of the second.
And that goes down as a hit.
It's that ball with eyes. You were talking about it earlier.
Now, whether they lost it in the light, lost it in the clouds, maybe that it didn't look like anyone really had a good go at it to start with and couldn't pick it up. So
Now batting Russell Stroker.
It's just one of those innings for
Yeah.
the Rays.
and another import up here, the Golden Grove import up here.
Yeah, Russell Strelchuk.
Strelchuk. It's a big league name, isn't it? Strelchuk, or it's an ice hockey name, right?
Could be.
Strelchuk.
This is his 2nd plate appearance of the inning. He led things off where he got hit by that pitch.
Well, that could fall in
Chopped
too.
off to left field. It's awkward. Tracy searching for it, and
Nice
he
catch.
makes the play.
Good catch.
So 10 batters come up to the plate, 5 runs score, and that is a big top half of the second.
And that's the end of the inning. For number 5 big runs.
That was a crooked number.
We'll take crooked numbers, Eric.
So now you got to chase the game here.
We do, Eric. We've got some good batters in this lineup, so 4 innings to chase down 5.
And making sure your visit is a memorable one. Visit Sam Letizia and their incredible staff.
So what's this release point you'll see for Sammy Siegert on the mound? Why is he pitching down on the side rather than your traditional overhead?
It must be something at Port because they had Herrera. He did exactly the same, and now they've got another guy that does exactly the same thing. So, yeah, it's just the ball moves a little bit more at that fastball. That 2-seamer dies on the sinks on the right-hand hitter, and then he's got that soft slider that you pull the string on and gets hitters way out in front of it, thinking that it's that it's a fastball that turns on you, and then, as we saw with Mason, way out in front of it with that pitch. So he's probably a guy that doesn't throw anything straight. There's not anything that goes straight.
If you drop to the side, it's usually for a reason. So, yeah, over the top, maybe not cutting it from over the top. It might have been that, probably that mid-80s fastball over the top, which is in the States is a dime. It does, and everyone does that. Yeah, over here it plays really, really well. Over there, not so much. So you drop to the side, do something that, the other pitchers aren't doing, and present yourself with an opportunity to make some teams. And guys like this make teams. They pitch those 7th, 8th innings to set up that closer in the higher you get up the level.
The thing with this is that you just don't see it, right? You see it once every 15 pitches you face, maybe, right? So it's just different.
And it's not coming in hard. We have our team down on the track man getting some data for us down low as Koki Yanazawa comes up to bat, pokes it towards center, sliding in Nick Platten, and he couldn't quite make the play. That would have been a difficult one. Yanazawa, good hustle down the line. So a leadoff runner. But Sigurd's stuff only coming in at about 75 to 78 miles per hour on that sidearm fastball.
Which is fine. That is more than fine. You've got guys around him, throwing that mid to high 80s, 90 mile an hour stuff. I'm sure whoever's coming out of the pen next is probably doing that. So it's going to be a massive change to the hitters. And a guy like this, once through the lineup, that's the beauty of Super League Baseball too. Once through the lineup, you got to go over the top. You got a lefty, you got a righty, you got a guy from the side. It's different at bats, makes it tough for the batters.
Yeah.
Runner is going. Yanazawa has some legs. The throw was wayward. And the Rays, who are in desperate need of some runs, have a runner in scoring position.
Now you're saying mid-70s, 75, 78, moving a foot. What would you prefer to hit, Dunny?
I'll throw 90 over the top.
Over
no
the top
problem.
Straight.
Yeah.
Please throw me that.
Yeah, no problem at all. And that's why Peter Moreland became so successful. He was over the top, and then he came down to the side and threw 94, 96, and balls all over the place. Hang on a minute, let's sign with the Braves, and next minute you're in the big leagues, So
carving out a nice career.
And you find a lot of guys who get hurt come down there as well because it doesn't hurt their arm as much.
Darren Fidge.
Darren Fidge is a good example of that.
2-2 count coming up here for Jacob Scott, the West Torrens product. Fouled away. Good lengthy at bat here from Jacob Scott.
Well, that's what we want. We want to leave them out there in the field. We spent a lot of time out there that last inning. 10 batters to the play and a pitching change. It's a lot of time. The last thing you want is that quick 1, 2, 3 innings. So you want some longer bats here and let them sit on their heels for a minute.
Swing and a miss, so Jacob Scott goes down on strikes.
And there's that sinker, it starts at the right height and instead just dies on you, just sinks down and just goes underneath your bat.
And you can look silly sometimes.
You can,
too,
very.
right? You think this is at the knees, I'm all right.
Well, look at Mason Clavel on the last to end the last inning, right?
Could I take 2 swings at it? Yeah.
It's almost like a left-handed slider at your back foot, but from a right-handed pitcher,
which you don't see or expect. And we can see that on the screen. Like, it's got movement on it.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, nothing straight. Even his fastball's got movement on it, and it's just a sinker.
That fouled away. Chopped over to third base, taking a stab at it is Strelchuk, who spins around and fires him out.
That's a good play. Very good play.
You're loving that as a pitcher. Plays like that.
Totally. That's a great out. Helps to get Galleys at 6'12" at first too. Doesn't have to move very far to catch it. So
these numbers mean anything to you, to either of you? He's got a slider that comes in at 2,400 revolutions per minute.
It's over my head, all that stuff, Eric.
Yeah, I'm not down there with it.
High spin
It's,
rate. Chopped over towards the right side. Bobbled a little bit by Platten, but he makes the play to get out of the inning. So they had the leadoff runner at second, and then a strikeout and 2 groundouts, and we've played 2. And the Marlins with a commanding 5-0 lead.
Here at Just a Thing Furniture, we offer quality, factory direct furniture at wholesale prices. From wall clocks, prints and lamps to couches, beds, rugs and outdoor furniture. We make furniture affordable, where you save up to 80% on retail, offering you the finest furniture at discount prices. When you buy from us, you won't wait months for your new furniture. Everything you see is ready for immediate delivery, and mention Super League Baseball and we'll deliver it for free. We pride ourselves on customer service, and our team works tirelessly to offer our customers on-trend furniture at heavily discounted prices. Visit our huge warehouse in Beverley, open 7 days a week, or jump online to check out our latest deals at www.justthethingfurniture.com.
Nice night for baseball.
Oh, that's fantastic. Look at that. That's quite romantic even, Eric.
Should we hold hands?
Let's not.
Why not?
I'm not a hand holder.
Yeah. I'll try again next week.
Okay. Maybe we'll just grow. We'll get a little bit more of our mows working, and then we'll hold hands.
Is that a thing? What's going on with it?
I don't know. It's working though.
I saw that the first week I'm in the bullpen.
There's lots of conversation on in the bullpen about it. There's a lot of there's a lot of people saying, you know, what are we doing? And we're setting a trend.
When you know, you know.
We're just setting a trend. We're doing November in October. That's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Started 3 months ago, didn't you, Danny?
Oh, at least 3 months ago. This has taken at least 3 months.
The jazz look on Michael Dunn to the right of me. But
That's it. I'm trying to get the V for Vendetta going. That's my plan.
We'll check back next season.
5-0 game right now, and it's all because of a huge 5-run second inning that the Marlins had. Nick Platten, who's up to bat from Kensington, he was part of that, and when you have those big innings, some things just fall your way. As Platten has another one fall his way. That's hit down the line. It'll rattle up against the wall. Platten rounding first hard, and he'll stand up at second with a leadoff double. He had that bloop single to left field that helped keep the wheels turning in the last inning, and this one just has eyes to get past Liam Bull.
Notice the umpire there. Neil's on wheels, running from first to second there, keeping up with the runner.
It's contagious, right? Hitting's contagious. One of those gaps appears to be contagious. They keep turning it over to the next guy.
Pat Inglis had a walk. He was the walk that loaded the bases. And they were almost out of it. They had that ground ball that was right back to the pitcher, a chance to turn 2.
Could have been 0-0 sitting there.
Would have been an error to end, but an error instead of ending the inning. And 5 runs later, now Christian Butterwick is on the mound from Adelaide, trying to keep it a 5-run game. But just like the Rays had, they've got a runner on second with nobody out. Top of the lineup coming up for the Rays, down 5-0. You think maybe a joker card on the cards next inning?
It's got to be played at some stage. It's
I think Scotty will wait and see who's on the hill to decide, make that decision. You don't want to bring your joker card out when you've got a stud standing out there. You need to pick your.
Problem is they're
How's the
down
pen?
5 runs, and they're at the top of the lineup with Partington chasing 5. So at what point does it become you just have to play it?
Oh no, I get that as well. I totally understand that, but you need to try and find a weakness in the opposition, right? And a weakness if AJ's coming out next. That's not your weakness, right?
So if you're the Marlins, are you playing some preventative baseball, knowing the joker card there, and just say, I'm just going to keep throwing my best at you?
Yeah, we won't. Yeah, we'll just keep going hard at it, and play the joker. We'd be happy to give up a 1 or 2 with a 5-0 lead, right? Get your 2 runs with your joker. That's fine. We think we're still out in front. We still got it up our sleeve.
But AJ would be the perfect guy to have against the joker because he's the highest strikeout guy in the league.
For us, yeah, it'd be great. Bring it out.
But they will have Partington, Tracy, McGarry, and Garbella as the first 4 in the lineup. You can't even say due up, though, because it could be a hard hit ball. It could be a triple play. Really, only Partington is guaranteed.
Well, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
No one's going to double up, and he hits a ground ball to the shortstop and gets doubled up. So
3-2 to Inglis.
Good job.
Butterwick gets a strikeout. His first one of the day.
Jake Campbell.
Jake Campbell struck out in his first at-bat. That was in the second inning. But against Nick Callahan, who was the starting pitcher for the Rays. That rides up inside. Did it get him? No. Oh, maybe it did.
oh,
Yeah,
just
just
off
on
the
the
front
line.
leg.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go though, did he? He was like, "Oh, I'm going to stay over here."
Double play ball in effect, just as it was when Shotton was up with bases loaded and one out in the last inning.
Yeah.
They got a soft ground ball back to the pitcher, but it was airmailed on the throw back to first. They scored some runs. This soft hit over to third. Bull flips to 2. They get 1, and they'll just eat it wisely, probably here.
Yeah, I said that last inning, didn't I? You know, I'm sure if he had his time back colours, he would have eaten that and put it in the back pocket. And Scotty there at second base did the right thing, held on to it. Two downs, to an opportunity to get out of this inning with no one crossing the plate.
Now batting, Kosei Suzuki.
Back to the top, you're getting some at-bats this game.
3 innings, third at bat for Kosei Suzuki. He's flown out to center field and then over in foul territory to first base. Swings at the first pitch, takes a funny hop. Bull across the diamond, makes the play. So a couple runners get on, but the Rays get out of it. They stay down 5-0. This is a 5-inning game, though, so they just have 9 outs to work with. Right now, the Western Rays. So we'll watch very closely who gets rolled out here on the mound. You'd think AJ would be the play here.
Yeah, or the other Golden Grove import would be
Kinjiro.
Kinjiro. They're the two that we've still got hanging around somewhere. And
Just want to touch on Butterwick then. I thought he came back and had a tremendous inning and a tremendous outing, you know, to leave that runner on second with none out, coming in with a strikeout and a couple of ground balls. He did his job to throw up a donut and keep us as in this game as we can be.
And it looks like AJ trotting in from the bullpen at the top of your screen. Player that was affiliated with the Detroit Tigers, played some minor league baseball with them. Came over to South Australia in 2019. He set the league record for strikeouts 2 seasons ago. And he has a lot of swing and miss stuff. This season, 13 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 16 strikeouts. Both those earned runs, though, were just runners that he had left the game and then got cashed in after. But 16 strikeouts in 13 innings, which is actually a low strikeout rate for him. So they are down 5 runs, and it doesn't look like they'll play the Joker card. And you are right, Danny. It is tough when it's against AJ Versteeg.
But when do you play it? Like, I don't know Golden Grove's other import, but I presume either AJ and him are going to see this game out with 3 innings to go between the two of them.
So you're going to be playing good.
When do you play it?
Yeah, I mean, that's another good point, that you've got 2 good guys that are left that can probably make up those 3 innings regardless. So do you just play it at your top of the lineup, which could be Partington, Tracy, or McGarry, or do you wait? You see a few pitches and see how it goes later on.
We're going to have to score runs regardless, and the 2 guys on base isn't going to be enough to win the game. So go through the heart of the lineup in this inning. Hopefully it's not AJ's night tonight, and we can play it when the game's a bit closer.
The other school of thought is, can you generate your own Joker card? Partington, he's got a high on base percentage. He's got a good eye at the plate. even a ground ball and he can get to first base, then all of a sudden the game plan could be get Pardo on and try to score him just on its own merits. If he gets on base, that'll be a fun matchup to watch. Swing and a miss, though, on Verestigi. Ball just a bit outside. He'll be working with a guy that would be very familiar with him at Jake Schotten. And they've worked together a couple years at Golden Grove Central Districts. And Partington swings through that. 1-2 count.
Just want to see Pardo battle here, right? That top of the order. Become a pest up there.
Now, what's the difference? They just had a side armor and Sammy Seagood, who was throwing around 75 miles per hour. Now, this coming in about 87 miles per hour on the fastball, so 12 miles per hour up. That's about 20 kilometers. And he struck out. Partington cannot believe it.
Yeah, a little bit of a chat there. Maybe Pardo thought it was away.
Max Tracy.
It's down. It's probably down. It's not a strike, I don't think. So Pardo, you know, that's okay for him to let that pitch go. That's not called probably at ABL level, right? Maybe. That's one of those ones right on that border, though. So if you probably got that square up, it might miss.
You're right. And like if
just
a catcher's getting under that and framing that like perfectly and selling it.
Yeah.
Max Tracy steps in. 0 for 1 in this game. Last game he was 2 for 2. But Verestigi made quick work of Jack Partington with 1 strikeout. Fouled away. Almost killed somebody in the dugout.
That'll wake him up.
You're hoping, Smoke, right? Yeah, that'll wake you up. Come on, boys, let's go.
Good job, Max.
Max Tracy sounds like some sort of detective name.
It's a cool name.
Max Tracy.
So where is his family actually from in Australia? Do we know that, Eric?
Clare Valley, I believe.
Oh,
so
really? He's actually in South Australia?
Yeah, so he's going to be staying with an aunt here. And,
in the Clare Valley and just
I don't know, maybe locally, yeah. I only had a brief chat with him pre-game.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Yeah, like he's that local. He's not.
Yeah,
he's
I thought it might have been somewhere in Australia.
You know, could have been New South Wales, could have been from anywhere.
Yeah.
No, he's his dad's from here, and moved over to the States. I guess 25 years ago to live, and
there you go. Welcome home.
Well, 2 strikeouts for South Australia's strikeout king, AJ Verestigi.
He's throwing the ball hard.
Yeah, that high 80s fastball. And he's throwing it with a purpose.
Hitting spots too at 88.
that's a good pitch. Like, Tom's putting his head down, going, man, I can't. There's nothing I can do with that. Like,
I swing that, I'll break my back.
Yeah.
Backs are expensive. Little wrinkle dinkle here. No, maybe another fastball. There it is.
Ball grounded over towards Verestigi. Scoops it up across the diamond, and that one's thrown away. So the second throwing error from a pitcher in this game, and it will be a base runner in scoring position. And Giovanni Garbella, who has a base hit already in this game. Last game and earlier tonight on the doubleheader day, he hit a home run. We were going through his numbers during the game, and before this game, he only had 4 hits in his 17 at-bats in South Australia, but 11 RBIs off those 4 hits, including 2 home runs.
I think any coach would take that. That's fine.
Giovanni Garbella just played with New York in the Frontier League. Played in Italy as well after his college career at Valparaiso in the NCAA.
Now, Danny, would a guy like AJ be on the Giants' radar at all?
Maybe in a spot start here. Now, the biggest problem you've got with those kind of guys is the ABL runs a point system, and he would fall under a points four-pointer as a player,
maximum,
which makes it hard.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so it all works on your indie ball guys are four points. Your Aussies are minus points.
He wouldn't be classified an Aussie now?
No.
Not in the ABL rules.
Not in the ABL rules.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so he would need to become a permanent resident, whereas right now he's just a temporary resident, whereas in the South Australian baseball rules, he has enough proof to prove that he's on the pathway of being a resident and a local. He's been at the club for more than 3 years. There's no one in South Australia that's going to dispute that he's a local.
Yeah.
But in the ABL,
And
if
you're
he
only
was a
allowed to
local
have-
pitcher, completely local, it'd be a completely different conversation.
He'd be on the roster.
Yep.
He would be on the roster. But he'd be in our pitching roster as such, right? But, because he falls under those points, and you're only allowed to have so many points. I don't think it's per week, but it's over the whole year. You're only allowed to have a certain amount of points. So you need to be really stingy about where you use them.
So he'd be the same points as a guy like Miguel Cienfuegos, who's coming over for Adelaide this year.
Yep.
Who just had lights-out numbers this year. So a couple indie ball guys, or a Nick Ward would also be a 4-point player, and your affiliated guys are 2-point players because they're affiliated with a major league team.
Sure.
If you played in the big leagues in the last year, you're 0 points. You're a neutral player. And Australians, as this is fouled up to center field, or tipped to center field, makes the play, and that will end the inning. So still a 5-0 lead through 3. We'll talk more Super League. We'll talk more points on the other side of this break, too.
Citadel IT is a managed IT services company, which means we provide support, backups, monitoring of your computer systems, and essentially just help small businesses keep their IT moving. Just visit our website, which is citadelit.com.au.
Oceanic is a family-owned and operated restaurant and event space down at West Beach. We came together always knowing that we wanted to do something with family, and here we are, focusing very heavily on sustainable and fresh produce, and we're very proud of that.
Our point of difference is genuine hospitality and passion for what we do. We truly love and believe in what we do and enjoy delivering fantastic service to our customers. And we recently were awarded with 2 awards, Best Breakfast Restaurant in Adelaide and Best Contemporary Informal Dining in Adelaide, which we're thrilled to receive.
We pride ourselves on giving people an experience from the moment they walk in the door. We're a family business, and everybody that comes through the door is entering our family.
Be sure to check our website www.oceanic.com.au for our new opening hours and to make bookings in regards to the restaurant and functions.
Back at the ballpark, it is a 5-0 game. All the runs coming in that big second inning for the Marlins, and started off with a couple walks, hit by pitch and error, and we talk about it a lot on those broadcasts, but free bases really can come back to hurt you, and this is Class A example tonight.
Yeah, you can't it's just one thing you cannot defend is free bases. Oh, and here we go. We've got the Joker card coming out for the Marlins as well.
Which makes sense. You've got new pitcher, a young kid, Jude Barker, on the mound. I think this is his Super League debut, Jude Barker, is it?
For the Rays, definitely. So third year in this format. So
yeah, he's at West Torrens. He's just a young kid. He's in his late teens, I think. He played mainly Division II, but got some Division I games and was on that roster for West Torrens on the series when they won the grand final last year. You talk to coaches around South Australia, and they're quite high on Jude Barker in terms of some potential that he has. Maybe he could be one of those players that certainly would be in the mix to be on the next generation Giants team that would play Japan. He'd be in the mix of players. You'd think that he'd be in there.
The JUCO teams, yep, definitely.
Yeah.
But you got to think of that depth that West Torrens is rolling out there every week as well, and they're Johnny Holstaffing it a bit, I guess, with your newborns, large Corticus, VDLs out there.
But how do you get a game?
It's a hard one game a week. It's a hard rotation to crack. So there's probably, you know, half the teams in the league would be out there week in, week out, getting those A-grade innings. But, you know, he's plying his trade behind good players, and that's how you get better. You know, hanging out and feeding off those good baseball players is going to make you a better ball player at the end of the day.
And Barker this year you'd think would get some chances with guys like Nieuwenborn in large on the Giants roster, and Nate Vanderlinden as well on the Giants roster. There would be some weekends where all three of those guys are away, and then all of a sudden a very good option that can step up there, and Jude Barker is there. So probably one of the reasons why you don't go looking for another club, because you know that opportunity is going to come internally because you have so much talent on your team.
And that's the thing, when it does come, you know, show them you belong there. Make them play you.
Manzella up to bat. Runners on first and second. And then this year it's an interesting one because it's the World Baseball Classic year, so some local clubs will lose players to the World Baseball Classic in finals time in March. Mitch Nieuwenborn is certainly getting a look at being a potential on that roster. He had a great year in club ball last year with an 0.19 ERA. He's on that Team Australia roster that's going to go to Japan to play that #1 ranked Japanese team in November, as this is fouled away again. No guarantees on the World Baseball Classic roster, but that would probably indicate they're taking a look at him.
Yeah, McCardle's the same. He's in the same sort of boat. He would miss out on club baseball as well.
Todd Van Steensel, Josh Tolles.
Yeah, there's definitely a few. If they make finals, they would lose some players, that's for sure.
And it hurts when you lose that big arm. That happened to us back in the day at Glenelg with Matt Williams over for the World Baseball Classic. All of a sudden, you know, we've lost one of the best pitchers in the league for a week, and it can really throw things out of whack if you're not prepared for it.
Well, especially when you've got to play 3-game series as well, and you rely on those guys to throw almost one of those games by themselves.
Philippe Kapka will be in that situation this year for Glenelg as a pitcher.
True, yes.
And the catcher from Sturt too, right?
Yeah, okay.
Martin Music at Sturt. Rickson Wingrove at Sturt. Jordan McCardle at Sturt. Mitch Nieuwenborn at West Torrens. Josh Tolles and Todd Van Steensel at Woodville. Then you add in players on the Giants roster like your Luke Wilkins, your Curtis Meads, your Nick Ward, who will play for GB. Potentially in South Australia, there's nearly a dozen players that will regularly play in South Australia that could be on a World Baseball Classic roster somewhere, which is pretty cool.
Pretty awesome. It just shows the talent that's here now, doesn't it?
So get out to a ground and watch some local baseball. Meanwhile, a walk has loaded the bases for Austin Gallagher. And Gallagher having a good day so far. He had that double off the wall that left the bat at 92 miles per hour. He had a walk. And now the bases are juiced. And this is a chance to deliver a massive knockout blow. But by my count, that's now 7 straight balls that Austin Gallagher has faced combined.
But that's just a disciplined hit. You know, you can be swinging at those pitches, right? It's a good hitter. That's why his OBP's so high, and he's
36 walks in 29 games last year, and 6 and 3 this season, and now he's got 2 in this game.
And another RBI.
It helps.
It all helps. It all helps.
2 RBIs on the day for Austin Gallagher.
And hasn't swung a bat.
And he hasn't swung the bat. Other than that, in the first inning. Makes it a 6-0 game. Now Brody Ariola, he had that weird bloop single when it was 3-0 on a ball that probably should have been caught in left field. It found the grass and made it 5-0 and really provided some distance for the Marlins.
I feel he's come up with bases loaded every time he's come up to hit tonight. This is his 3rd time he's come up with bases loaded. Remember the first time he popped up, in the first game he popped up to the catcher.
Yep.
Then the second one he hit the blooper out to left field. And now here it is again with bases loaded.
Yeah, he's got 2 ribbies to show for it, but probably not as productive as he'd like. But a swing on the bat here, and it can be a big old game.
Ooh.
Hard hit ball, left field, back, track, wall, see you later.
Gee, salame.
A grande salame.
Grande salame.
From Brody Areola, and it is now a double digits lead for the Marlins, and the 6th run batted in from that man right there.
Ouch.
Like we said, one at-bat can change your entire stat line and how you look at the day.
You called it. Maybe you could be a coach after all.
I've called a couple things tonight.
Yeah.
On the hill. 2 for 3 with a home run and 6 RBIs for Brody Areola.
And this is where the games that you don't realise as players and coaches gets important, because that run-loss thing come finals time it's a big thing. Especially if the games are always, you win one, we won one, Seahawks win one, and then it's all really tight, and it comes down to run differential. That makes a big difference.
Seahawks won versus the Rays in round number 1 in a 9-8 victory. Rays beat the Marlins in the second game, winning 3-0. Now the Marlins have a 10-run advantage over the Rays in this one. Only 6 out for the Rays to work with. If things stay the same, which you feel like is a good chance they would, although crazier things have happened, but not many, every team would have a win by the end of this round tonight, keeping it a very tight competition.
Which is what you want to see, right? Every week, every game, you're throwing 2 teams out there, and you don't know who's going to win that game. Like, who's the favourite going in? It's, flip a coin sort of baseball. And, last game, obviously, getting up 3-0 for the Rays, and then now the tide's turned.
Russell Strelchuk jammed foul, keeps it a full count. This game only can be an hour and a half, so I think we've got only about 25 minutes left to go in this game.
What time did we start? 7:25?
Yeah, just after that. And it's a walk. That grand slam, by the way, just for all you stat nerds at home, 87 miles per hour off the bat, launch angle at 32 degrees. Elevate and celebrate.
Yeah. I mean, Brody, he had to do something.
their chance, yeah.
3rd time's the charm. Well, 6 RBIs cashed in, works out pretty good.
Yeah.
Fickle game, though, right? Because that ball gets hung up just a little bit more, and you're 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, and you're like, oh, man, what an opportunity. Instead, you're like, yeah, nah, we did a pretty good job. Nathan Vanderlinden comes into the game. Adelaide Giant for a number of years now, played 92 Australian Baseball League games. The club captain over at West Torrens, who just won the premiership. Very handy player to have, and he'll come out in a big-time blowout situation at 10-0.
Yeah. Can't even come back with 10. We'll just keep it close now, right? Like, it's not close, unfortunately, but he's going to be out there now getting his work in. He needs to get his work in and get sharp, and as we've spoken about, just signed his contract with the Giants roster, so he's got something to show out here tonight. That's a bullpen he's trying to break. And it's hard. He needs to switch on too and have that mentality of every time I'm out here, someone's watching, which can be hard to do in a 10-zip game.
These are situations, to be honest, that he has been used in Giants games before when the team is up 10-0 or down 10-0. He said that. I chatted to him in the week after he signed his contract and asked him, because he plays some second base, he plays some outfield, he comes on his defensive changes, pinch runners. And I said, what's going on, man? Like, what are you playing a lot of different positions? And he just said, I just want to help whatever team I can win a baseball game, but think about it in the long run as this ball's fouled up. And that means, and this is different because it's a Super League game, but say this was a Giants game, it was 10-0, the Giants were down, and this was just game 1 of the series. Well, you've got 3 more games to worry about. You don't want to burn other pitching, so even though you're going to lose that game, as this pitch comes in, that guy coming in to eat up 3 or 4 innings in a losing cause is super important.
Very.
Because it means you save your bullets for another game. Every player has that role on the team, even if you don't get the glory in that exact moment. Up in the air, easy play That's the first out of the inning. Something that Josh Spence preached a lot.
Yeah, it's massively important because you do save your bullets for another day. And you know, if you get blown out in that first game, or you get beat, and then you win the next 3, that's hugely important for your team. It's hugely important. And you even see it in the big leagues. You saw some games this year in the big leagues where guys just, teams just gave it up. You know, they're 8, 10, 15 runs down. You saw position guys out
trying
there
to throw as slow as they can. Yeah.
Just don't get another arm out of the pen that you don't need to throw today because you got no chance. So why give it up? You know.
Yeah, what he said is he wants to play in the game no matter what, whatever he needs to do. So giving the coaches options of having him in on either side of the field helps both parties. Means he gets to play more, means the coaches have a guy that's willing to do whatever role is asked upon. And he said, all I can do is my best when I'm called upon.
Yep.
Want the team to succeed to win, and by giving another person a rest or throwing that extra inning, it can help a lot in the long run. It's also a guy that's very self-aware in terms of, and even just has a team awareness of how everything fits together in the big picture. And that goes a long way with coaches, doesn't it? When you see a player that says, hey, yeah, use me however you want. I just want to help the team win.
Yeah, then that's why he keeps getting picked, because he has that attitude. And Nate, he'd walk over broken glass to put a Giants top on. So it's they're the kind of guys you want around. They're the culture that we try to build, and he's a big part of that. Just by being around and doing everything that he don't care. He doesn't care what he does as long as he's there.
And it's not like he can't compete. You think back to that hub week during the COVID season. Is this one fouled off himself? This is Pat Inglis up to bat. There was one Sunday where the Giants, remember, it was that weird schedule. They had to play 8 games in 6 days, so few doubleheader days in there. And it was a Sunday where the Giants literally emptied the tank in the game before, and they said, yeah, Nate, you're one of our only pitchers, so you're starting today. And he ended up turning out something like 5 innings, only allowed 3 earned runs, and gave the Giants a quality start, right? This popped up to foul or into the outfield. That's 2 down. So right there, Nate Vanderlinden gave the Giants every chance to win. 3 earned runs over 5 innings. You're going to take that.
Oh, definitely. You'd probably take that from your top-end starters.
100%.
So, yeah, keeping you in the game.
And then 2 days later, he was out there. He had to save that hub. That was a fun hub week. He had to save that hub week. He came in for a 4-out save to win a game, an emergency start, and then he came in like a 13-0 situation and started a couple games at second base. Never the star player, but always a player that helps everybody become a star.
Yeah, that doesn't get the accolades there. Right? He's not front page of the paper, but he's helping that team get to the front page of the paper.
Why he was named the Giant of the Year that year is because he just did so many different things.
Yep.
Jake Campbell up to bat, 0-2 count. That one inside. So time-wise, played an hour and 13 minutes or so. When's it no new innings?
Be surprised if there's a 5th.
Good question, Eric. I think it's no new innings after 90.
He's entering mercy rule territory.
It already is mercy rule. Realistically, if we made the rules, this would be if we get if we get you out in the bottom of the 4th, it would be the end of the game.
Rays will need a run. Bat one further than the ball.
Nate coming in doing his job.
Swing and a miss, and the bat ends up perfectly balanced.
For the next hitter.
So 9 batters come up to bat in that inning. 9 players had a roll. 7 came up to bat. They played the Joker card to start the inning. But a Brody Arriola grand slam, that is the big difference so far.
It actually went into the dugout.
Did it?
Let's see that again. I want to see the replay.
It went in there. Not often that happens.
But another fun night at the Just the Thing Furniture Warehouse Super League. Don't forget to head into their great warehouse in Beverly. You can get all decked out just in time for summer at Just the Thing Furniture Warehouse. Literally all decked out. Something for your deck, outside furniture, whatever you got going on. Free Metro delivery.
Free Metro delivery. Get down there and see the bro. And
of course,
he's a bit stiff and sore at the moment. He fell off the back of a truck and
was it while he was doing some Free Metro delivery?
No, he was at the warehouse and he slipped off the back of the truck and tried to support himself and landed on his arm and snapped his wrist.
Oh dear.
So he had surgery today and put 12 pins and a steel rod in his arm. So he's probably lying in bed watching this, and his brother's having a bit of a giggle about it. But I hope you're feeling okay, mate, and you're out of hospital soon. And I know it kills you not being at work, but we're all thinking of you, and we hope you get better soon. But he'll still give you free Metro delivery.
Big thanks to some of our other sponsors, Peak 24. Reach your peak at Peak 24 Fitness with 24/7 training and expert coaches. A lot of baseball players not only work at that gym, but also go to that gym. Hilltop Office Supplies, of course. Dunny, what's going on at Hilltop these days?
Well, yeah, we're still doing all the office supply stuff, and we've now moved into the catering side of things in cafes and restaurants with your coffee cups and your burger boxes and your hot dog bags and your gloves and everything you could possibly need. And even milk, we do alternative milk as well. We do soy and almond.
Do you do milk like they do in Ontario, where I'm from?
Well, how do they do milk in Ontario?
Milk in a plastic bag. That's how you get milk.
Definitely not.
Why not? That's the only way milk should be served.
Is that because
Have you seen that before?
You don't know how to make a carton in Canada?
No. Why would you put it in a carton when you can put it in a plastic bag? You can play. It's like you play Russian roulette with the milk bag every week because
see whether it's going to break or not.
Well, it's like no, because if you cut it too open, when you try to pour it in your little container, it just goes everywhere, and then if you don't do it enough, it just flops over.
Yeah, right.
Pitching change. Lindsey Barbary from East Torrens in the ball game, getting his first Super League look. Mason Clavel comes up to bat.
We have a Joker cards, do it, don't we?
You do.
Saving it. Maybe Scotty just wants to go home. So a good first look at another rookie player. Other sponsors to thank. Citadel IT, they're the sponsors of the Rays. Did get a win earlier in the day. They won 3-0. Oceanique sponsoring the Marlins. We need some nice weather to fully enjoy Oceanique,
yeah,
don't we?
You do. You need to get down on the balcony with the sun out and a nice glass of wine. It's fantastic.
Catapult Wealth. You can see them sponsoring the scoreboard as it's a base on balls for Mason Clavel. Fresh and Delicious, the sponsor of the Seahawks. West Beach Eatery. Secret little spot over at the Caravan Park at West Beach Eatery.
It is. They make really good coffee. Really good coffee. Some good schnitzels. They've just got a license. So
Look
they'll
out.
be now serving alcohol, so we may frequent over there a few times a week.
Koki Yanazawa up to bat. Trying to start what would be a remarkable rally. Yeah, I'm confused the Joker card wasn't played because it's kind of your last shot at it, right? Like there might not be a fifth inning.
Yeah, and with the kid out there too, young kid throwing, not sort of sure what...
I'm sure there's a plan. I'm sure there's a plan.
Mindset,
I'm sure there's a plan.
What the Yoda's doing in the dugout
one of the
down
smartest
there.
guys in the game.
He certainly is, Andrew Scott. Being around coaching a long time, too, after a great playing career, but had some success with those under 16 and under 18 state teams. Also his time just at baseball, South Australia in general, and then in softball as well.
Be here all night talking about what Scotty's done over his
Oh,
career.
my goodness, yeah. Big-time baseball brain. I think it's on his mind the entire time. That one was foul, then fair, and...
I wonder what. I thought that actually went foul and then went back into play.
I think it did.
Yeah, but it came off the catcher.
Yeah, it came off the catcher. Yeah, because if it was foul and then...
Straight off the knee. Ooh.
Yeah, ooh.
Who'd want to be a catcher?
No, thank you.
Come on, who? Oh, that's got to hurt. Oh. It's like being shot, I'd reckon. Not that I've ever been shot, Eric, but...
You can imagine?
Yeah. I reckon that's what it would feel like.
You're going to be some kind of crazy. And he's just going to go right back and, you know, Jake Shotton.
How nice is Koki just apologising to him.
Sorry, man. Didn't mean to foul tip it onto your knee. Need to throw strikes here. It could open up if we don't get some... you need to just get some balls in play here and make some outs. It's crucial that you just give your field an opportunity to make some plays.
Put into play. It's a slow roller. Barehanded from third. It was a nice throw, but a little bit too late. Great effort from Strilchuk. That was always going to be a troublesome play.
Great play. That was tough. That infield CNI single there, just on the dirt, on the grass there, perfect spot. And Koki's he's burning down the line. It was always going to be a high play.
He can fly. There's no way you're getting out there. He can fly.
Who needs to play a joker card when you can just have runners on first and second by your own accord? Jet Clohessy coming in for a pinch hit. Played in the earlier game of the doubleheader.
I thought he did a fantastic job behind the dish as well.
Well,
controlling that pitching staff and
caught a shutout and only one hit.
Almost a no-hitter, eh?
Yeah.
Infield hit. I'm sure every pitcher that's thrown a no-hitter or a perfect game in their life has given a lot of credit to the catcher, the man behind the dish in that outing.
Probably the whole field. Yeah. Big swing from Clohessy. It looks all right, that swing.
He's impressed me these first few games of Super League this year. Held his own last year as a young kid, the limited opportunity he got, and stepping up this season.
Well, it's a 3-1 count now. So Barbary on his big-time debut. Trying to register that out. A walk and a hit, infield hit. Kind of unlucky on that. But Vanderlinden and Bull lurk behind Jet Clohessy.
Well, as the offense, all you can do is get it to the next guy.
Yeah.
It's never over till it's over. Get it to the next guy.
Very true. It's very true.
Well, let's start with one. How many pitches is Barbary at now?
15 plus 16.
Well, bases are loaded.
See, I'm not sure, you know, coaching for a long time, I'm not sure the sense of throwing an off-speed pitch 3-2 with runners at first and second, a full count on the hitter, and it's 10-0.
Yeah, you have to... Yeah.
You know what? Hit it as far as you like.
If it's your pitch, that's fine. But in that instance, probably not.
It's
I feel
10-0.
like a young kid on the mound, that's his go-to is his fastball.
Totally.
He's throwing strikes with his fastball every day of the week.
You know what? The guy hits a 3-run home run,
maybe
it's 10-3.
is the
Who
slider.
cares?
But yeah. You got to, like, some pitchers have more comfort with their slider, being able to spot that up for a strike than the fastball. But in this instance, I agree with you, Dunny.
Nate Vanderlinden up to bat. And some dangerous bats lurking with Bull, Partington, Tracy, McGarry. Someone is warming up in the Marlins bullpen. You'd think that would be the Japanese import who plays for the French national team. Kenjiro, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There's people all over the place.
Strike.
Not a bad 2-1 pitch. Bases loaded to even the count up.
Yeah, that was a... You can see something here from Lindsay Barber. East Torrens have a few kids that are really pushing up the ranks. Last year they had that remarkable under-15 team that went undefeated.
All right.
Undefeated. Yeah, they allowed it was ridiculous.
You don't hear about that often these days, do you?
Vanderlinden into center field should be playable, and it is by Brody Areola. Runner is tagging, so it cashes in a run, breaks out the strikeout. It's an RBI for Nathan Vanderlinden, and at least the Rays are on the board. Gets them out of mercy rule territory. But I don't know if we'll get another new inning because it's been an hour and 21 minutes or so. And there's Coach Tam Harkin. She'll come out. That will be the end of Barber's day. He gets the out. It wasn't so bad. A couple of walks, yes. The one hit was on that jam shot that just trickled down the third base line and then soft contact to center field.
It was sort of like last week's game, wasn't it? Just, around the zone, lots of pitches fouled off. Just a bit of rust, I think, for him right now. That's all it is. Bit of rust and, not the worst outing in the world, but probably could have been a bit tidier.
And here is a look at somebody that I think is going to get a lot of Caps medal votes this year. This is Kenjiro. He can pitch. He can hit. He's being worked up a little bit, just trying to get over an injury before he'll be a starting pitcher again, you'd think, at Golden Grove. At least that's what the sense you get talking to AJ Verestigi. When those midweek games come, it'll be AJ Kenjiro, AJ Kenjiro, and that will be the formula. He can also hit. He's got some good early season numbers. Season stats so far, he is 5 for 9 with 3 walks and 3 RBIs. That's as a hitter. And he's come in for a few clean innings as a pitcher already.
They're gonna win some games this year, Golden Grove, with AJ and this fella on the mound. I think they'll be all right.
And the third baseman, as well. So, you put Campbell in there.
Manzella,
getting a year older and better.
Yeah, you got some good.
It's a good core.
Senior guys and some good kids coming through as well. So, yeah, they'll certainly stick it to some teams, and they'll be around that. Come that game 25 to 30. They'll be close, and they need to just win those. They need to win some of those important midweek games against top 6 teams to keep them in the running.
And they have the bottom schedule in terms of from playing last year. Although now they have to play Adelaide, which seems like a tougher. But
that's true.
They just had a big win over Kensington on the weekend, and those are the kind of ones you look back at the end of the year that turn the table. Liam Bull up to bat with runners on first and second.
And this might be it, I think, Eric. If we get the outs here, that probably the end of the game. I think.
Yeah, I think they need 9 runs. The Rays here.
Well, that's a good pitch.
Yeah, played in for the French national team in the recent World Baseball Classic qualifiers after playing for Montpellier in the French National League. Liam Bull to center field. Will it drop in? Charging on is Areola, and it will load up the bases for Jack Partington. But Kenjiro was I was doing a bit of research on him. So he was a highly touted Japanese baseball prospect in high school. But then he gave up baseball in high school in favor of badminton, where he competed at quite a high level. And then he only started playing baseball again in 2019. Joined a team in the Japanese Island League, chop foul, and then has been in Europe for a couple years after COVID. So he's only been back in the game for a few years after a big high school career, but yeah, gave it up for badminton before coming back for it, and now he's playing at Dodger Stadium in the northern suburbs of Adelaide.
It's amazing where baseball can take it, isn't it?
Corners of the earth. Good research there too, Eric.
Well done,
That's
Eric. It's fantastic.
And I think he will pull some votes for the Caps medal this year.
Oh,
Even early on in this year, he'll have some votes, right? You come in, you pitch a couple clean innings, and you go 2 for 3 with... You look at the box score, you look at that as an umpire, you say, yeah. And that is the formula here. You have to pitch, you have to hit.
Yes.
To win Caps medals.
Yeah, to win Caps medals.
And right now it's like Landon and JBR head-to-head.
Wilson Lee.
Well, Wilson Lee, you won't play enough games.
Yeah, just like last year, he just came just short. Went down to the final round last year.
But
he missed the first 2 months of the season.
He didn't play enough games.
Didn't play. That's exactly the point. Yeah, if he had played 3 or 4 more games, he would have. He probably would have won it. But Jackson ended up winning by 5 votes, and he. Oh my goodness, how's the start Jackson Brebner Russ is having this year? It's a walk and it's a run. 10-2. You see Jackson's numbers so far this year?
Yeah, he's had a good start, which
It's like
is
19
which is
innings,
good for them.
no earned runs, 16 innings, 19 strikeouts, no earned runs.
He's a good story in baseball, isn't he? Like that fresh arm later in his career, transitioning to pitching and just becoming lights out.
I mean, he's probably got 6 votes already if you look at some of the games in those first 3. He's off to a good start.
3 votes.
Well, they lost one game, 5-0. Allowed an unearned run. They lost 5-0. Yeah, so he's probably not picking up all 3 votes there. So maybe picks up 1 vote and then 2 in another game. He certainly got all 3 in one of his last one. Look at what's going on down here. A little wrestling match with Andrew Scott. 10-2. Yeah, Jackson will pull high this year.
So we're definitely at the end here. They need to score
8 runs.
9.
Well, 8 to continue it.
True.
This is Max Tracy up to bat. He's 0 for 2 after going 2 for 2.
This is
No, it's Jasper Clark. He's
yeah.
Jasper Clark in here for a pinch hit. We've seen 1 grand slam already this game. 2 5-run innings for the Marlins have been the story in this. Sort of raced away from it, and now a rally for the Rays doesn't appear to do much other than close the run differential in potential tie breaks at the end of the season. Clark fouls this away. Boy, Jasper Clark was good in the grand final series last year for West Torrens, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was crucial. He played a really big role in them getting across the line.
Swing and a miss, so Kenjiro gets him to chase. Coming in at about 83 to 85 miles per hour, Kenjiro stuff. 2 down, so 1 out away from the Marlins getting on the board and evening up their record at 1-1 on the season. Tom McGarry, though, the RBI king, trying to close that gap a little bit more with that swing.
Trying to pad the stats there.
Who are you looking at for player of the game candidates? Brody Arriola?
Brody's got to be in the mix.
6 RBIs.
6 RBI, 2 for 3 with 6 ribbies.
With a grand slam. That really was the one that busted the game completely open. It took it from, it's looking good to, it's over.
This is 6-2 right now with the tying run at the plate. You know, it's a different
That was a big
The
swing.
optics are different, right? But yeah, it's I think for me it's Brody.
Again, odd that the Joker card wasn't played this inning because it would have been 10-4 right now. Well, I mean, I know you would have pitched guys differently because you start with runner on first and second, but a walk, infield single, and a walk, you can't really defend against that.
I think this is the first time ever in a game that someone hasn't
Chop to left field. Will it fall? It falls into the glove of Patrick Inglis, and I think that's going to be the game. Umpire will call time of game in a 10-2 final for the Marlins. In the end, it probably didn't really matter. It was going to be a massive difference to overcome, but it would have been 10-4 with bases loaded and a swing of the bat. All of a sudden, you're like, oh.
Hey, maybe he's banking it for next game. We get 2 now, right?
No,
Yeah, that's how it works,
No,
eh?
that's definitely not how the rules work, Smokey. You should know better. But I think that's the first time ever that no one's used a Joker in a game. That they haven't used a Joker during a game. I don't reckon anyone's ever done that before. It's always been used.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I remember saying it. But hey, he's Andrew Scott. And Andrew Scott does what Andrew Scott wants.
Yeah, and you can't really question too much about him either because he's just Andrew Scott.
Yeah, do what you like.
No, but a 10-2 win, and it doesn't really matter at the end of it because his team was getting fleeced.
True.
By the Marlins. Your Marlins had a win.
We did. We're on the board. And here we go for premiership number 3.
Brody Ariola, player of the game.
For me.
Brody Ariola for player of the game for me too.
No games next week. We've got a
All-Star game.
All-Star game. Adelaide
into
Giants taking on the South Australian Baseball League Super League All-Stars.
Yes. And
Brought
the
to-
women's All-Star game as well before that.
So that'll be a fun week. Next week, we will see you then. Marlins win this one 10-2. Thanks for joining us for another round of Super League Baseball brought to you by Just the Thing Furniture Warehouse.
Here at Just the Thing Furniture, we offer quality, factory direct furniture at wholesale prices. From wall clocks, prints and lamps to couches, beds, rugs and outdoor furniture. We make furniture affordable, where you save up to 80% on retail, offering you the finest furniture at discount prices. When you buy from us, you won't wait months for your new furniture. Everything you see is ready for immediate delivery, and mention Super League Baseball and we'll deliver it for free. We pride ourselves on customer service, and our team works tirelessly to offer our customers on-trend furniture at heavily discounted prices. Visit our huge warehouse in Beverley, open 7 days a week, or jump online to check out our latest deals at www.justthethingfurniture.com.